I like a couple of different ones. I can't say, so it's real hard for me. Oh man. It's real hard for me to say I have a favorite thing because this is the beauty of it is that I mean, I've looked at the reports, that come in, monthly, and I take a look at them, and literally every time I look at them or I go to reference them, I can think of other questions. Right. And that's the value of it. Right. So let me give you an example. What lead sources generated the most phone calls into my call center? Who doesn't want to know that, right? What money am I spending on leads that's bringing the most people to me? I want to know that every day, right?
That's the very first question we came up with. That's
it, right? And then here's the thing. Now I want to know which one of those lead sources resulted in a sale. How much was that sale? What's the percentage of overall sales? And so when you start talking about that, you can really quick get to what's working and what's not, right? And we've used this to tailor, am I turning on Home Advisor? Am I turning on Angie List? Am I going out to Thumbtack? Am I spending more money on radio ads, right? I mean, when you really look at the whole picture, it helps you ask more questions that you can then use to make better decisions. And I mean, and that's the thing, like I get asked stuff every day. Every day, there's probably dozens and dozens and dozens of questions that I answer, right? From people in the business, from outside of the business, right? I don't know everything. There's no world in which I know everything. And that's why I keep saying, like, the most important thing for me to know is what I don't know. And when I look at these reports, right? So when I look at, for example, my talk time per rep, right? So for example, I have, all these people that do this wonderful job in servicing our customers on the phones. They're fantastic people. I couldn't hope to have a better team. And I mean that sincerely, right? I hope everybody out there at some point in time gets to have a team like I have, because it changes your life.
Right? I hope that they get to watch around you say
right?
that.
Right. But it's
yeah, no.
And to be able to have the impact on these people's lives who you care about, right? I mean, it's transformational.
Right.
But what you also need to do is you need to be able to look at data objectively and say, okay, is anybody having issues? And I've used this tool to look at talk time and actually measure, and say, okay, what happened here that's different? Like something's going on here. I talk to a manager who's like, oh, you know what? You're right. Let me look at that. Let me follow it up. And, we find, that somebody's having some problems, some personal problems, and we help take care of them, right? And then they turn around in the next month, record month. Broke all, like, not even close record month, right? Like literally, these people took care of me. I'm 10 times happier. And now, thank you for lifting this weight off my shoulder, because now I'm going to run.
So the information that goes down to the actual call center person, has turned out to be really useful. I really appreciate that, because I want you to know that report didn't exist in our original conception, and that report came out of speaking to a company that I know is doing a little over $15 million a year. Okay. And said, unless I had this information, that wouldn't be terribly useful to me.
There you go.
Right. And that's the stuff, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking not for, when you have to handle the whole business the way that Service Titan does, right? And they're doing a much wider scope of work than we are, right? We're just looking at marketing and sales reports. Right. And when you look at it the way that they do, right, they have this big thing. I just need to know what you need to manage your marketing and sales better, what information you need, and give it to you, right? And make it as easy as possible. You talk about—
I'm actually pulling my DataTurk up right now to look at something while I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Yeah. I'm curious as to what you're looking at.
Well, I wanted to just refresh my mind, because, when we talk about, you talk about your business, right?
Right.
And our businesses, every business has, slight fluctuations and peaks and troughs and their seasonality and some other things that happen, right? And it's always interesting for me to look at a scale over time and say, okay, over time, where is my money working the best for me? Right. So when I look at a report that's like the job revenue by lead source, right? And I can see the pie for the month, right? I see this month is. This is everything. And then I scroll down and I can see the bar chart with all the segments for all the preceding months. Now I have a real quick way to visualize, and say, okay, orange is existing customer, right? And my existing customers, I look at orange on that graph chart underneath, and I take a look at it and I say, okay, my existing customers are pretty strong, but oh man, look at this website traffic. Wow, my website traffic's really stepping up during these months. Okay, now I know I might want to throw some little bit more stuff on that website during those months and put some development dollars behind that, and maybe some, get some more leads funneling to the website through different advertising streams to be able to leverage that better, right? Because if I'm already getting leads from it, I can't but get more conversions if I invest a little bit more into it, right? And that combined with Google Analytics and some other stuff, I can start painting a picture that is really compelling and gives me an ability to really fine tune what I want to do. But I wouldn't have known to do that if I hadn't seen this month over month over month over month, distribution of what those revenue leaders by lead source was. And I'm a big fan of that report because I know exactly how much money I spend on these lead sources every month.
Yep.
Very, very eager to always see how much revenue did I get back on the other side.
Right. It's interesting. We have a client who went back and realized that there was a problem on the website, exactly the opposite of what you're saying. They actually tuned down their Google Analytics. They, or rather their Google ads, and they tuned down some of the traffic to the website for a little while they got that fixed. So like for 2 months, they cooled that money down. They put some more money against some other things that were working. Okay. And they are doing great now. And that's, I like it when people call me up, okay, or send me an email and say, oh, you know what, this is our story. And so that one was one where you just called me up, and because it was one of our very early, it was like a beta tester for us, and said, I just want to tell you that I think that that this is awesome. And I said, well, that's great. I said, but I think because we were looking at the data together, that that particular fix, not only did it save them about $40,000 a month for those couple of months where they were doing that, right? But it made them an additional little over $100,000 a month, right? Because they had another very profitable revenue source. And so, when you can see that so clearly, right? That's exciting. That's the kind of feedback that people want. So